Thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was wandering among the Kosalans together with a large sangha of monks. Then in a certain place beside the main road, the Blessed One smiled. It occurred to the Venerable Ananda, what is the reason, what is the cause for the Blessed One's smile? The Tathagatas do not smile for no reason. So he arranged his upper robe on one shoulder and extending his hands in reverential salutation towards the Blessed One, asked him, Venerable Sir, what is the reason, what is the cause for the Blessed One's smile? The Tathagatas do not smile for no reason. And the Buddha said, once Ananda, in this place there was a prosperous and busy market town called Vebalinga, with many inhabitants and crowded with people. Now the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, lived near the market town Vebalinga. It was here in fact that the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, had his monastery. It was here in fact that the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, resided and advised the Sangha of monks. Then the Venerable Ananda folded his patchwork cloak in four and spreading it out, said to the Blessed One, Then, Venerable Sir, let the Blessed One be seated. Thus this place would have been used by two Arahants, Sammasambuddhas. Stop here for a moment. So this place in India where the Buddha walked now, he said the previous Buddha, Kassapa. Kassapa was the previous Buddha to our Sakyamuni Buddha. And later you'll see that actually the Buddha in his previous life had met this Buddha Kassapa. And then he became a monk under him. The Blessed One sat down on the seat that had been made ready. And he addressed the Venerable Ananda thus. Once Ananda, in this place there was a prosperous and busy market town called Vebalinga, with many inhabitants and crowded with people. Now the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, lived near the market town Vebalinga. It was here in fact that the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, had his monastery. It was here in fact that the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, resided and advised the Sangha of monks. In Vebalinga, the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, had as a supporter, as his chief supporter, a potter named Gatikara. Gatikara the potter had as a friend, as his close friend, a Brahmin student named Jyotipala. Stop here for a while. So in this sutta, the Buddha is going to recall the past when he was born as the Bodhisattva named Jyotipala, a Brahmin student. And his good friend was Gatikara the potter. The potter in India is part of the working caste. Working caste, low caste. The high caste is the blue blood, the warrior caste, nobles, and the Brahmin caste, the priest caste. These two are the high caste. The low caste is the merchant class, Vesas, and the worker class. The worker class, they are called the Sudras. So this Gatikara belonged to the low caste, but he was the chief supporter of the Buddha, Arahant Sammasambuddha Kassapa. One day the potter Gatikara addressed the Brahmin student Jyotipala thus, My dear Jyotipala, let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha. I hold that it is good to see that Blessed One, Arahant Sammasambuddha. The Brahmin student Jyotipala replied, Enough, my dear Gatikara, what is the use of seeing that bald-pated recluse? A second time and third time the potter Gatikara said, My dear Jyotipala, let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha. I hold that it is good to see that Blessed One, Arahant Sammasambuddha. And the second and the third time the Brahmin student Jyotipala replied, Enough, my dear Gatikara, what is the use of seeing that bald-pated recluse? Then the potter Gatikara seized the Brahmin student Jyotipala by the belt and said, My dear Jyotipala, there is the monastery of the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, quite nearby. Let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha. I hold that it is good to see that Blessed One, Arahant Sammasambuddha. Then the Brahmin student Jyotipala undid his belt and said, Enough, my dear Gatikara, what is the use of seeing that bald-pated recluse? Then when the Brahmin student Jyotipala had washed his head, the potter Gatikara seized him by the hair and said, My dear Jyotipala, there is the monastery of the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, quite nearby. Let us go and see the Blessed One Kassapa, Arhan Sammasambuddha. I hold that it is good to see that Blessed One, Arhan Sammasambuddha. Then the Brahmin student, Jyotipala, thought, it is wonderful, it is marvelous that this potter, Gatikara, who is of a different birth, should presume to seize me by the hair when we have washed our heads. Surely this can be no simple matter. And he said to the potter, Gatikara, you go as far as this, my dear Gatikara. I go as far as this, my dear Jyotipala, for so much do I hold that it is good to see that Blessed One, Arhan Sammasambuddha. Then, my dear Gatikara, let go of me, let us visit him. I stop here for a moment. So you see, this Gatikara, he tried so hard to bring this Jyotipala, his good friend, to see the Buddha. Each time he refused. Asked him 3 times or so, he refused. And then after bathing, asked him to go again 3 times, again he refused. And he pulled him by the belt. Pulled him by the belt, also he refused to go. And then he felt there was no choice. Seized him by the hair, pulled him by the hair. Now this Gatikara, being a low caste person, is what we call haram, not allowed to seize this, even touch the hair of this Brahmin, because this Brahmin is a high caste. Possibly, if this Brahmin reported to his other Brahmins, they might even kill this worker Gatikara. So he was surprised that he dared to go so far to make him go to see the Buddha. Then his friend said he's willing. He goes so far because he thinks it's very important to see the Buddha. Then only Jyotipala agreed. So Gatikara the potter and Jyotipala the Brahmin student went to the Blessed One Kassapa, Arhan Sammasambuddha. Gatikara, after paying homage to him, sat down at one side, while Jyotipala exchanged greetings with him, and when this courteous and amiable talk was finished, he too sat down at one side. Gatikara then said to the Blessed One, Kassapa, Arhan Sammasambuddha, remember, sir, this is the Brahmin student Jyotipala, my friend, my close friend. Let the Blessed One teach him the Dhamma. Stop here for a moment. You see, according to legend, they say that the Buddha in his past life, or Sakyamuni Buddha in his past life, met 24 Buddhas, and each of them predicted that one day he will become the Buddha Sakyamuni, and also that the Buddha in his past life made a vow to become a Sammasambuddha. But you see here that it cannot really be true. If the Buddha actually made this vow to become a Sammasambuddha, he would be very happy to meet a Sammasambuddha. But here you see he had not much respect for the Sammasambuddha, refused to see him so many times, and eventually when he was pulled by the hair, and when he went, also he refused to pay respect to the Buddha. He just exchanged his greetings with the Buddha and sat down. So this legend is based on the Jataka stories and on the Paramis and all this, which is not in the suttas. It's a later creation. In the suttas we find the Buddha said he looked into the past as far as he could see that night. He probably didn't sleep the whole night. He looked into the past, 91 world cycles, and he said he only saw 6 Sammasambuddhas. In the suttas, there's no mention of 24 Buddhas or 28 Buddhas or 88 Buddhas, etc. Only 6 Sammasambuddhas are mentioned. And out of these 6, our Sakyamuni Buddha in his past life only met one. Met this Kassapa Buddha. And even in this sutta you find that the Buddha never predicted, Kassapa Buddha never predicted that Jyotipala one day would be a Sammasambuddha. So anybody, it's up to whether that person takes the trouble to teach the Dhamma or not. Like our Buddha, after he was enlightened, he actually refused to teach. He wanted to be a Pacheka Buddha, but was persuaded to. Okay. Then the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, instructed, urged, roused and encouraged Gatikara the potter and Jyotipala the Brahmin student with an exposition of the Dhamma. At the conclusion of the exposition, having delighted and rejoiced in the Blessed One Kassapa's words, they rose from their seats, and after paying homage to the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, keeping him on their right, they departed. Stop here for a moment. So you see, this Jyotipala, when he came to see the Buddha, he didn't have much respect for the Buddha. But after hearing the Dhamma, he was willing to pay homage to the Buddha. That means he understood the Dhamma. Later you see, most likely he just hearing that Dhamma from the Buddha Kassapa, he attained this stream entry. Then Jyotipala asked Gatikara, now that you have heard this Dhamma, my dear Gatikara, why don't you go forth from the home life into homelessness? And Gatikara said, my dear Jyotipala, don't you know that I support my blind and aged parents? And Jyotipala said, then my dear Gatikara, I shall go forth from the home life into homelessness. So Gatikara the potter and Jyotipala the Brahmin student went to the Blessed One Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha. After paying homage to him, they sat down at one side. And Gatikara the potter said to the Blessed One, Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, Venerable Sir, this is the Brahmin student Jyotipala, my friend, my close friend. Let the Blessed One give him the going forth. And the Brahmin student Jyotipala received the going forth from the Blessed One, Kassapa, Arahant Sammasambuddha, and he received the full ordination. So you see, just after listening to the Dhamma by the Buddha Kassapa, this Jyotipala, whom earlier did not have faith, did not have respect for the Buddha, he understood the Dhamma and decided to go forth. It's very clear from here that he must have attained stream entry. Now Ananda, you may think thus, certainly someone else was the Brahmin student Jyotipala on that occasion, but it should not be regarded thus. I was the Brahmin student Jyotipala on that occasion. That is what the Blessed One said. The Venerable Ananda was satisfied and delighted in the Blessed One's words. That's the end of the sutta. So this last part, when the king knew that the Buddha and the Sangha of monks was going to be supported for the whole Vasa rain season by Gatikara, he dispatched 500 cartloads of rice, etc. But this Gatikara just didn't want to accept it. He said he has enough. So he's not a greedy fellow. So this sutta is extremely informative as to the past life of the Buddha. This is the only one sutta in the whole of the Nikayas, out of 5,000 suttas, that mentions our Buddha in his previous life, having met another Buddha. This is the only one. So you can see from here, you see when we read suttas, there's a lot of implications, we have to think carefully, and then we can understand a lot of things. Firstly, you can see from this sutta that the Buddha, in this lifetime, under the Buddha Kassapa, he must have attained a stream entry. And after attaining stream entry, he became a monk under this Buddha Kassapa. And then from there, he was reborn. This is mentioned in some other suttas. After that lifetime, he was reborn in the Tusita heaven, where he was there for quite a long time. And after the Tusita heaven, he came down as the Siddhartha Gautama, his last life. And in the Vinaya books, it is mentioned that our Siddhartha Gautama, as a young boy, he could enter the first jhana under the Jambu tree. And in the suttas, the Buddha says all these meditative states are not attained in the heavens. It is attained in the human realm. Which means the first jhana that the Siddhartha Gautama practiced, he must have attained it when he was a monk under the Buddha Kassapa. So if he had already attained stream entry in that lifetime, and on top of that he had attained the first jhana, it is logical that he must have become a second fruition Arya, sakadagamin, already under the Buddha Kassapa.